Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the show. Like, yo, yo, yo. You already know. What up, what up, what up, everybody? You are now tuned in to another episode of Thinker versus Speaker. I am Marissa the Thinker, and we got a special guest in the building today. We got Danni. She's a journalist, YouTuber, social media extraordinaire. You know, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing today?
Okay, it's the twist that you threw on at the end. Don't give them all that.
Don't let them know. Don't let them know. My bad. I done put that business out.
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm tired, but I ain't complaining though.
No, I feel you on that.
That's real. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Danni.
Wow, you were like literally putting me on the spot here.
That's kind of the point. That's what I do.
Alrighty. Well, for those who don't know, I am Danni. My brand is DanniTv, and I'm also a journalist. So as of right now, I'm a producer, and I live in Savannah, Georgia. I moved 11 hours away from home, like no family, no friends out here to pursue my career. And yeah, check out my YouTube channel. It's DanniTv. I do like some really cool stuff on there. So all y'all need to know as of right now is that I'm a journalist making it happen.
Alright, okay. Cool. So like, it's so much that I want to ask you. First things first, I guess I want to kind of tap into like the moving away from home part, because like, of course, like I had to do it, but when I moved away, like my immediate family was here, like my mom and my dad. So like, what's that been like for you, like moving away like solo?
So I kind of get homesick sometimes because I have like no family and no friends here. My boyfriend lives 3 hours away in Atlanta, and like, okay, I know he's 3 hours away, but it's still not the same. So I'm still like adjusting to it because it's a lot adjusting to like a new city, finding things to do and being on your own, because this is my first time actually like living in my own like apartment by myself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an adjustment, but hey, I'm loving the living on my own thing, because it's like, it's nothing like, just having peace and stuff like that. And not to say like my home life wasn't peaceful, because it was, but I'd be like, okay, I'm sitting in my little apartment here, like.
Yeah, no, I definitely get it. I'm that way now too, because like now I'm in my own apartment, and I do solo. Like I got my dog or whatever, but you know what I'm saying, she don't disrupt my peace. Well, she does, but you know what I'm saying, I knew what I signed up for when I got her. So like, but like when you live around other people, that's the part that kind of like makes me apprehensive to live with other people, because it's just like, now I'm used to being alone. Like I'm used to like stuff being where I left it, and like not having no noise around or whatever. Like I can invite people over when I want to invite people over. When I want to be alone, I can be alone, and it's fine.
No, exactly. I completely agree, because I have a dog, but I had left my dog back home because of the hours that I would be working with the job. And I want my dog back, and my mama's like, sis, go buy a new dog because you're not getting it back.
What
And
kind
I'm
of
like,
dog?
girl, bye. And then like when my boyfriend comes over and visits, like he's a gamer, so he takes the dang on PS4 literally everywhere he go on vacation. The dang on PS4 has to come, and it's like literally so nerve wracking, because I'm like, if you don't shut the hell up, like you making too much noise.
No, that's real. That's very much real. Okay. I feel where you coming from on that. I definitely do. So like, what do you do like to adjust? Like, do you still try to like get out? Like, what are you doing to kind of like adjust to the new environment?
So on my off days, I pick like one day or either both days to at least go do an activity and explore, because it's a lot of things like that Savannah has to offer. People like come down here on like their like wedding trips and like bachelor and bachelorette trips. It's considered like a tourist town.
Right.
So I try to like find something to do and explore. And like, I'm a foodie, so I'm like, well, if I can't find nothing to do, I'm gonna go try a new restaurant for sure.
Yeah. I've seen your TikTok, and it always looks like you just like out and about doing like different cool shit. It's just like you
Yeah.
you make me want to get out. Like you make me
Cause you got to. And then with the whole like, I'm trying to like slowly but surely get into like influencing and more like media personality online and building a presence. So I'm like, okay, I gotta show them stuff, because I hate when I like be looking at people's stuff and they talking about something and then don't show me what they talking about. So I'm like, well, I'm just gonna take my little passions that I have and put it on my TikTok.
That's real. That's real. Like you honestly like the opposite of me when it comes to that. Cause like I'm also trying to get into that too, but I hate showing people what I'm doing. Like, but you know me. We like, you know what I'm saying? You know my history. I don't like to I don't like to talk to too many people. I don't like to have too many people in my business and stuff. So like that's the odd transition. It's just like I gotta open up a little bit to people and show them what I got going on. But it's just like I don't want to though.
No, I feel you on that. And it's like at this moment now, I'm kind of like, in a place where I'm like, I don't feel like that I overshare, but I definitely like, it's some stuff that I could say, but I just keep to myself, because I'm like, some moments I have to just keep to myself. And me showing y'all a restaurant that I went to, it ain't that serious, but it's definitely like hard adjusting to like opening up and not oversharing, because I'm like I don't know, like some little situations that happened to me recently, and I'd be like, okay, let me make sure that I don't overshare. Like,
That's real. That's real. Like, and it's crazy because it's just like it's certain things that I don't mind saying. Like, I'm an open person, and like even with this podcast, like I have to be like open emotionally. You know what I'm saying? Because
mm-hmm,
like the idea of a lot of stuff that a lot of the things that I like to do, I like to tell my story, and by telling my story, I like to like show people like it's okay to just be authentic and transparent and like vulnerable, because like if you own your vulnerabilities and your insecurities and stuff, like it won't hurt you. But like as far as like literally showing people stuff, it'd be like, nah, I don't actually, you know what I'm saying? I can tell you how I feel all day, but I don't want to tell you what I did today. Like
no. And I feel you on that, because it's like opening up and showing people stuff, it kind of make people like intrigued by you in a way. But
mm,
also, I kind of look at it as, I never know who's gonna come across this and see this, and it may actually like help somebody. Like, I don't know,
right,
being relatable.
right. And that's kind of like the key to it, at least for me, right? So with that, with what you do, so how did you really get into like wanting to influence? Like what kind of like led you there?
So, um, just being like in the entertainment industry and like being a journalist and stuff like that, I feel like it comes with it. And with me, like, yeah, I have my career as a journalist and being like a producer, but I want to do more. Like, I'm thinking on the scale of having more than, one income. So it's like, okay, if I can show people what I'm doing in my life, just being me and having fun, like, why not do that and make money as well?
Mm.
Because it's like, it's people that's literally showing people how to chew gum, like something so stupid. Like,
Right.
it's people with no substance running up their platform. So if I actually have substance, why can't I run up my platform as well? And then
Yeah.
just also knowing that, the stuff that I put out, people actually watch. Because sometimes like I'll get messages from people and people like, yo, like that was relatable, or I agree with what you're saying, or people like genuinely reaching out to me, like congratulating me and, asking me questions, like asking me, can I help them with stuff in their life? And I'm like, what? Like, I'm sitting here with a little small platform and y'all asking me a little questions, like, okay, I can help out in the world just a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. Like even when we first started the podcast in the beginning days, like when people would start coming up to you and be like, "Oh my God, I love what you do," like you know what I'm saying? "Oh my God, I love what you do." Like it helped me so much, and you'd be like, "Really?" Like I did, like you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, it catches you off guard, but it's just like the little things can make a big impact on other people, and it's just like we don't even notice it. Like we can make such a huge difference in other people's lives just by being yourself. And it's so
No,
crazy.
and that's facts. And then for me also, like, I currently I'm on like I'm behind the camera, but I want to transition into like entertainment and being on the camera. And
Mm.
jobs have like reached out to me from finding me literally on YouTube, finding me on TikTok, like finding something that I did on social media. So I'm like, okay, I gotta put, make sure everything I put out is tip top, because you literally don't know who is watching.
That's true. That's very true. That's very true. So like tell us a little bit about I guess let's talk about your work first. Like so like how did you get into journalism? Because I know back in the day, I know when you started school you were going for nursing. So how did it go from that to where you are now?
So back then, I always like loved writing, and I always wanted to be like a journalist. Even like as a kid, I always said I wanted to be a journalist, and like I would watch the news every day. But like back then when we were like working in Old Navy and stuff like that, like I would kind of hear, when people ask you, what are you going to school for? And then I would reply and say like I wanted to do that. I would kind of hear like negative feedback, like, oh, they don't make money and stuff like that. And like my mom is a nurse and works in the healthcare field. And so I was like, well, nurses make more money. So like maybe that's something that I should do. So like that first year I went away and I went for nursing. I'm in like the classes. I'm like, okay, I know that I don't really want to be a nurse. I'm thinking more so of the money, and I know that I'm not good at math and I don't like math. So I was like, why am I even like doing this to myself? And like, when I first went away anyway, I was in generals knocking it, out of the way and stuff. But after like that first semester, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to put myself through this and waste money knowing that this is not something that I want to do. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do like what I really, really want to do. So from like that moment forward, I was like focusing on that. Now, I'm not going to say I was like super, super focused, because I honestly wasn't. But like once I got in my zone and I was like really focused after that first like year of college, it was like, okay, like I know that I'm going to be a journalist.
That's crazy. I remember all of that too in hindsight. Like once you said all of that, it's just like, oh damn, like I remember this. Like I really remember this. Like
yeah, like Old Navy, like literally those used to be like the days. Like those were days.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Those are the formative years for real. Like
seriously.
Yeah, people really came into their own during that point in time.
Yeah, and I feel like we all kind of watched each other like grow, and like, okay, like I remember this and I remember that. Like it was kind of like, I don't know, we was like a little family at work.
Yeah. I remember, because I even remember because you were in high school. Yeah, like you dead ass was in high school. So I remember it like even from the beginning where you like where you said that you wanted to do nursing, and then when you came back, and I think you were coming back, you were in communications. Yeah, so it's like, okay, all right. And see me, I had a similar struggle, but I didn't realize, like it's not until like now that I'm realizing what happened, right? Because when I was going to school for engineering in the beginning, like I was struggling, and it was just like I wasn't thinking about, okay, what is it that you really wanted to do? I had my mind set on one thing. So then when I was like, all right, engineering really ain't doing this for me no more, that's when I went down like the retail management role. And it was cool, you know what I'm saying? Like it was cool, like it did it because I liked working with y'all. I liked helping people. I liked, you know what I'm saying? By the time I left, I was like making schedules and doing all kind of stuff. I was really doing like HR work, and it's just like, well, yeah, that's what I like to do. But once I moved down here, it was just like, nah, this ain't it either. And like as I started kind of like going through the process of like really evaluating what it is that I wanted to do, I got led to so many other things that just wasn't that. So like it's kind of crazy like how you like kind of like hit walls when you're not doing like what you really destined to do. But like once you start doing what you really wanted to do the whole time, things kind of just open up for you.
No, and I feel you on that because I straight remember that you were like in engineering. I'm like, dang, like you hella smart. Like you about to be a whole engineer. You about to be rich as hell. Like I straight, that is so funny because I straight remember that. But no, I feel you on that. And I honestly feel like when you are like in your hometown, you may know what you want to do, but you don't realize like I have the potential to do this until you go to different cities and see different things in different cultures and different environments. And then it's like, oh, okay, like for sure, I can do that. Let me just spread my wings a little bit and get out of my hometown. I feel like everybody should leave their hometown at least once because it kind of builds character
Mm-hmm.
and it lets you know if you made for what you're trying to do.
You are so dead on the money. Like you are so dead on the money. I believe that too, because it's something about when you get away from everything. That's that for me, that was the point where I really figured out who I was and what it is that I want to do, because it's easy to slip into your comfort zones when you stay where you are, you know what I'm saying, because it's just
Mm-hmm.
like the people around you, they're good, they are good, like they're good whether the things that y'all do are good or bad, like they content with it. So it's just like if you really want to get out on your own and flourish, because you're gonna have people telling you, oh, don't do that, no, you shouldn't do this or whatever. It's just like so many different influences around you, and it's just like once you remove yourself from all of that and you like you have to sit by yourself and learn yourself and like, okay, what are the things that I like to do, what kind of activities do I like, how do I like to keep my house, how do I, you know what I'm saying, just the little things, and really getting to know yourself. It forces you out your comfort zone so you can really like fly and flourish.
No, and that's real. And just to like piggyback on something that you said that stuck out to me when you said people be like, maybe you shouldn't do that. Something that you also have to learn is not to let people project their energies and stuff on you, even if it's people that's important to you, because they may have went through a situation and they like, oh my God, like no, you shouldn't do that because they don't know any better. You can't let that stop what you want to do and let people like project things like that on you. But like 100%, I agree with like everything you just said.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because like at the one of the biggest lessons that I had to learn is like sometimes when I need to make major decisions, because I used to be the type of person like if people would be like if it was people that I really, really, really trusted, right? Really trusted. It's just like, you look to your mom, your dad, your grandma, whoever that you really trust, and you ask for their advice and they give you advice, I would go with it. Like I would just be like, all right, you know what I'm saying? They know what they doing. So like I'm gonna just go with what they said. And then like sometimes you just end up in a sticky situation because you done listen to somebody else, and then you turn around and you like, man, I should have just listened to my gut because I kind of knew what to do, but I ain't do that shit. So like now I gotta now I don't know what to do.
No,
But
I feel you on that. Cause I used to like do stuff like that. And I feel like even now sometimes I do it and I'll be like, you think I should do this or you think I should do that? And then I'd be like, you know what, just go with my gut, because at the end of the day, my journey is my journey. So I gotta
yep.
pay attention to what I'm saying, what I think.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was gonna say, because it's just like you can get advice from other people, but at the end of the day, you kind of gotta go into yourself, and it's just like, all right, I heard what they gotta say, but like, what does Marissa want? What is the best decision for me?
Exactly.
Yeah, but okay, cool. So with all of that being said, like, how did you end up? So let's talk about DanniTv for a little bit. So how long have you been doing that, and what is it specifically for the people that don't know?
So DanniTv is my YouTube channel. That's my own personal brand, separated from my job. I'm not telling y'all what station I work at. Sorry.
Don't
We
don't.
gotta no.
Mm-mm.
We gotta plug ourselves. So
Yeah.
this is just my own personal brand that I'm looking to expand and do like my influencing. So it's my YouTube channel where I do like lifestyle vlogs. Sometimes I interview like different influencers or rappers or celebrities, and just showing the trials and tribulations of a regular girl that came from St. Louis and is out here trying to make her dreams come true. So that's pretty much what it is. It's me. I always knew that I wanted to like start a YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, I kept like putting it off. But I think like I've been on YouTube for like a year now. So last year, that's when I ended up like really started being consistent and like putting myself out there, like trying to figure out during the pandemic specifically. And then also after I graduated and I couldn't find a job, I'm like, okay, what can I do to separate myself from the other 100,000 people that's applying to all these jobs? Like, I need to have something to make myself stand out, and also have something where that's mine, and I dictate and control what I put out, and I'm able to be creative.
That's really dope. It's kind of cool what I just heard in that, because it almost sounds like it kind of sounded like when you got out of college, you were kind of like struggling to find like somewhere to work, and then you just decided to make your own lane. Like, that sounds really dope. And I don't know if, like, because I know a lot of people leave college and they have that, they hit, it's a big job, not a big, I don't know what, it's a small job pool. So it's not necessarily easy to find a job right out of college, because it's a lot of other people that just got out of college that's also looking for jobs. So it makes it harder to do. But some people like get defeated by that, and it looks like you found an opportunity in that. Be like, well, if ain't nothing coming to me, I'm gonna make my own way.
No, and like literally that's exactly what happened. Like, okay, my last semester, I had started applying for jobs probably the semester before my last. So I'm applying for jobs in like October, November, and December, and I don't graduate till May. When I say ain't nobody calling me back, whole reel was trash. And when I say real, like when you're trying to do like stuff on air, like as a reporter or even being an actor, you have to have like a demo tape showing yourself on camera and showing the employer how you speak, how you look, and how you represent yourself. So I'm doing everything that they said do in college, and I'm not getting any call back. So I'm like, whatever. I'm steady talking to my advisor. My advisor like, you're determined, you're gonna find something. So it comes time for me to like graduate. At this time, we had like transitioned to online classes because of the pandemic. I'm steady like applying and I'm not really hearing stuff. And then the stuff that I am hearing is not like sticking, and like people are offering me literally like bottom of the barrels amount of income. Like somebody had literally, if I'm being honest, like offered me $12 to move away from home and start a job, and I had to like literally laugh at the email, like, bro. And it was in a small town too. Like,
nah,
you don't play with me. Like,
right? I gotta uproot my whole shit for less than what I make at the. Nah, I'm cool. Like,
so it was like honestly very hard and very discouraging. But at the end of the day, I was like, okay, I didn't went to school all this time. I'm not, I can't get discouraged, and I don't have time to get discouraged because we got student loan debt. So we ain't got time to get discouraged. We gotta, make something happen. And then just like the people around me steady, like my boyfriend, my parents, my sister, my grandparents, my uncle, my brother, my friends steady encouraging me, like, you are going to get something, girl. Calm down. It's not the end of the world. You don't have it now, but you're going to get something. So I honestly just had to make something shake. I was like, I got to do this.
Do you think you have any advice for people who are experiencing a similar struggle when they come out of college?
And I know this is like literally so cliche, and I hate to say this, but you literally have to be patient and you have to do the work. If you're not doing the work, then you don't need to be speaking. You can't say that you want to be, a nurse or a doctor, and you're not going to clinicals and volunteering at like a hospital. You can't say that you want to be a journalist and you're not putting in the work of applying for jobs, asking people for feedback, redoing your reel. Like, if you spent so much time on a reel and people like, you're not getting any hits or calls back, then clearly you need to go to the drawing board and do it again. But most importantly, believe in yourself, be patient, and Always be welcome and open to feedback. Don't think that you know too much, because people hate when a new person coming into something thinking that they know everything. Like, if people telling you that you need to fix this and change that to help improve you, be open ears. Like, I'm not saying you got to listen to what literally everybody telling you, but you have to be open headed.
Woo! That's a proverb. That's a proverb. Like that was a hard lesson that I had to learn even in my own life. Cause like I didn't even realize how hard headed or like prideful I can be sometimes. Because of course, like, I was smart and I knew I was smart. But when you think like that, like you think you know everything, but you don't. And it wasn't until I opened myself up to be able to take feedback and take criticism and stuff like that, and like just be open to, you know, other
Mm-hmm.
ideas, other opinions, because you don't know everything. And like the key to life, actually somebody told me this literally yesterday, is just like a good leader has a bunch of people under them that's smarter than them.
No, facts. Like, I never want to go somewhere and I'm the smartest person in the room. That's stupid as hell, because you ain't gonna learn. Like, that's stupid as hell.
You
You're
ain't gonna
not
learn
about to
nothing.
learn anything. Who wants to be in a room full of people that they can't utilize and they can't help them? I'm the smartest person. I'm the flashiest, the flyest person in the room, and everybody else beneath me. Like, that's stupid as hell.
That's
No.
stupid as hell. You sound crazy. You're not gonna learn nothing. You're not gonna learn nothing. And it's so funny. I'll be a little transparent. Like I had got to a point not even long ago, where it was just like the people that I was around. It was just like, how they say, um, if you like the one person in your circle with like goals and like stuff like that, then you need to reevaluate your circle.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you the only person that everybody is going to for advice, if you the only one that everybody is turning to for the answers and everything like that, you need to reevaluate your circle. It's true. It's facts, because it's just like I can't learn nothing here. Like I can't learn nothing here. I can't grow. Everybody looking at me to grow, but I need help too.
Exactly. It's draining.
Yeah. Yeah, like I need help, I need advice, I need mentors, I need stuff like that too. Like, so I gotta ask for help. I gotta change some stuff around. I gotta reevaluate some things, because it's just like this ain't sustainable. Doing everything on your own is not sustainable.
No,
It
I agree.
sounds good, but it's not sustainable.
Exactly. I agree with that 100%. I This had like popped in my head and then I forgot. And then I'm like listening and I'm like, dang, what was I gonna say? But I had forgot. And also something, as far as it, dang, I just forgot again. It'll come back to me.
If he like that, if he like that. But
Oh, okay, wait. I
go
remember, I
ahead.
remember.
I don't want to stop you. Go ahead.
Right. Also, something with advice, like after college, you literally have to stay down till you come up. Like, don't rush the journey. And you may be working a job that you absolutely despise and hate, but it's like, okay, you gotta go through that little hard time, and then your opportunity gonna come, because that is what I went through, and I don't wish that on nobody. But
That's
you
where
gotta
I'm
stay
at.
down till you come up.
You do. Okay, like you know what I'm saying. So what? Stay down till you come up. So like, how do you navigate that, right? Because like right now I'm going through a thing. I guess you call it like moonlighting, where it's just like, all right, this is what like the podcast, the other stuff that I'm pursuing. This is what I'm passionate about. Like if I could do this all of the time, I would do this all of the time. I wouldn't even go to work. But that's not realistic. Like that's not realistic. That's not where I am in my process. And it was a hard pill to swallow. Like being able to realize where you are in your process. It's just like, okay, I'm in the beginning, right? So that means that I gotta go to work, but I also got this thing that I'm trying to grow. So how do you balance both? And like how do you find the inspiration to continue trusting the process? Because it is tiring and it is draining. So like how do you deal with that?
So I would say for balance, like, okay, of course you need money, so you got to stick that 9 to 5 out, because that like for real, that nine to
Yeah.
five has to fund your dreams. Because if you don't have income coming in, you can't sustain your lifestyle and you can't fund what you're trying to do. And I would say also, during that process. Take that time to invest in different things, kind of to make you stand out. And more so, like for inspiration, think of like somebody that inspires you, and think about their journey and listen to other people's journeys. Because oftentimes I'm like, okay, somebody that I really like, that's in the entertainment industry, is Lala Anthony, and I also like Angela Yee. They didn't
Mm-mm.
have a head start. They were broke, and they had to. I think Lala moved to New York or Atlanta and was like sleeping on her friend's couch, and I think Angela Yee was like somebody. I want to say Russell Simmons or somebody assistant in New York, and she wasn't making anything. Like sometimes that first initial start, you may not be making what you think that you're gonna make, but that right there is to let you know, if it's what you like, and also to build your character and let you get that experience, because that one little situation or whatever the case may be can make you millions. And oftentimes I'm like, okay, well, I mean, if Angela Yee and Lala Anthony or Jay-Z or Drake or whoever or Beyonce went through this, or Oprah, what makes me different from them? Why can't I go through the same things that they went through to get to where I want to be? Not saying that our journey is the same, but it's like, okay, if these millionaires and billionaires went through this, who am I to think that I'm any different?
Right. Exactly. And like I agree with what you're saying, like, right? Because like one of my biggest motivators in what I do now is Issa Rae.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
I remember being in college like 2011, 2012. Tiff that was on a last episode can like tell y'all. It's just like I remember being there and watching Diary of an Awkward Black Girl on YouTube, like on YouTube, watching it faithfully. Can't wait for the episodes to come out because it's just funny, and it's just like to see that, and it's just like now she got Insecure, now she got a other show. It's just like you can do, like, it's just like what's to say that I can't do something like that? You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's something that I feel called to do, right? I ain't saying
Mm-hmm.
doing nothing that is completely out of your scope, right? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, if it's something, you know what I'm saying? I do like to write. I do like to come up with, content. I do like to do those types of things. So like, what's to say that I can't do that? And that's exactly what you're saying. It's just like, I can, but it's a matter of me believing in myself and trusting in the process, because it's not easy.
No,
But yeah,
exactly.
go ahead.
And it's like with Issa Rae, I remember that last episode of Insecure when they went through everything, and she talked about, how I think she was debating between getting the show picked up and how she didn't have this, or even Issa's character in Insecure. Like, she went through hell to end up where she ended up with the love of her life in in the fifth season. I think it was 5 seasons, and then having her own non-profit versus when she was with, We Got Y'all. So it's
Mm-hmm.
all about, trusting your journey, and just believing in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is gonna believe, in you. And also, I seen like a little post on social media the other day when it was like, okay, Drake had did a performance for somebody before he was huge, and they had only paid him $100. And it's like, he doing that because he got a passion behind it, and he trying to figure out a way, not knowing, like, literally years later he's gonna be a damn mega superstar.
Yeah, yeah, and that's another part that I'm learning too, right? um One, comparison is the thief of joy, but two,
Okay.
it's not even about the money. Like when you going after something, because the biggest lesson that I'm learning now is that nothing is about money for me. It's not about money. The only thing that money will do for me is give me a certain lifestyle, right? But what is
Hmm.
the lifestyle if I'm not happy?
Exactly.
What does it mean to even, like, even if I would have finished engineering school and I'm making engineer money, what difference does it make if I'm not happy?
No, that's facts 100%. And it's like, it's not always about the money. Like, I would say, do something that makes you happy, and that you genuinely enjoy, because the money gonna come. These jobs don't care about you anyway, so rather work for some company that you have passion for, rather than a company that, I mean, don't care about you and you don't even like seeing these people.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You waking up for work in the morning being like, man, fuck, I'm just waiting for retirement. Like,
Okay.
I'm too young to be saying that. Like, I'm too young to be saying it. So why am I gonna spend another like 20, 30 years in the workforce? And I hate what I do. That just doesn't make sense. Regardless of how much money does it make. What does money mean if you're not happy? What does money mean if you're not fulfilled? Like,
Exactly.
you can kind of like, you can find your own way, you can pave your own way. Like, you just have to do something that makes you happy, because when you're doing something that makes you happy, it's not even work.
Nope. It's fun. It's a hobby.
It is. It is. And like that, and that's like the difference, like with some of these like multimillionaires, a lot of these people that we look up to, right? Like, one of the reasons like that I chose engineering was because it was about the money. It was about the money. It's just like, well, I'm smart. Like, yeah, I got all of these creative skills. Fine. But like, you know what I'm saying? What do people say all the time? You know it. It's just like, you ain't gonna make no money in that. How hard is it to try to find a lane in that? Like, you know what I'm saying? You should go ahead and do something else where you like, what does the job market for that look like? Do you know how saturated that is? And it's just like, but if I'm not happy with what I do, what does it matter? Now, if I was built for this, if I'm built to be an entertainer, if I'm built to be an artist, or if I'm built to be whatever it is that you built to be, if you built to be that, you gonna stand out, because that's what you are made for. That's what makes the difference.
Exactly.
That's
Yep.
what Yeah, that's what makes you stand out from everybody else. That's why you will be successful, because you're doing what you want to do. You're passionate about it. You're driven. You want to wake up every day and like look for better ways or different ways to do things. You're not going to just give up at the first hiccup, because this is something that you really want to do, because there will be hiccups.
Nope, 100%. It's gonna be many, and it builds characters. Like, okay, am I in it for the right reasons, or am I in it for the wrong reasons?
Yeah. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure, you know what I mean? Everybody knows the story. They told Michael Jordan he got kicked off his first, high school team, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, when the chances of being an NFL player, but these people do it though. People do it. People do it every day. It's just a choice of what you want to pursue, and if you really mean it, if you really
Exactly.
down for what it is that you say you down for, because it's not gonna be easy. It is a process.
Yeah, and then at the end of the day, it's mind over matter, and you have your own journey, and you'll have a beautiful story to tell at the end. Like, yeah, when I'm sitting at the top with my little billions and millions, beforehand I went through this and I went through that. Like, somebody rejected me, plenty of people.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, successful people get rejected. It's about how you bounce back from it.
Yeah, and just taking every rejection not even as a loss. Like, oh, like, okay, you rejected me, but maybe this wasn't the right place for me to be in anyway.
Right. Yep. Because like, rejection is God's protection, right? That's what they say.
Period.
It is. Like, rejection, she be doing the most. But if y'all listen to the podcast, y'all already know Rue Mama she just is what she is.
That's
But,
funny.
but like, rejection is protection, and like, those things will really put us on our path. And I think that's something that's kind of been definitely highlighted today, even like in my story and your story. It's just like, in the beginning, we could have told you that we was gonna be one thing, but it just didn't end up working out that way. But the way it worked out, it wound up being better.
Exactly, 100%.
Okay, cool. So with that being said, where do you see yourself going? Where do you see yourself going now? What's on your radar these days?
As far as like my radar, I'm just, trying to learn everything I can learn in a corporate world, but like later on, I see myself doing like red carpets, entertainment journalism, continuing with like my YouTube channel and doing like some influencing and speaking maybe at different speaking engagements and stuff like that. But yeah.
What's your favorite part of journalism?
My favorite part is meeting different people.
Yeah.
I love just meeting different people and like sparking up conversations and finding like different things out and like people backgrounds and stuff like that, and people's stories. So I would definitely say meeting the people.
What's one of the most interesting characters that you've met doing that? You ain't got to get too specific if you don't want to get too specific.
I don't know, because I've met like a few people, and like each like interaction with them, like the people, it kind of like left a mark on me. I'm trying to think of like my favorite. I'll say two people. So one of my favorite interactions was when I interviewed Sydney Mitchell from BMF. She's on 50 Cent's BMF show. That was one of my favorite interactions because it was like kind of like really genuine with her, and me and her kind of have like the same story because she's an actress, and actors kind of go through the same things that like journalists go through. That was probably one of my favorite like interviews. And then like from then on, like we just had like a genuine connection, and like we like cool. Like when I stop in Atlanta, like we hung out like the last time. So that's like one of my favorites. And I would say my second favorite was when I met G Herbo.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw that one on the internet. I did.
Yeah, that was like my second favorite thing because like I was in St. Louis at the time. So I had like drove to Chicago to go to his like concert and his meet and greet. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to his meet and greet, and I'm just gonna be like, let me ask you a few interview questions real quick. And like I was there, it started raining outside, so I had got like rained on. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like my hair is all poofy. I look crazy. Like I can't be around somebody with a damn AP on and Rolex looking, dusty. Like, oh my goodness. But I was just like, you know what, whatever. Like I didn't come here for anything. When I ended up getting in the building, like the people over the concert were like, take your picture and go. No videos, no cameras, no nothing. Take the picture and go. And you need to be ready. And I was kind of like, damn, like they telling me that I can't ask him no questions. So I was like, nah, like I ain't going for that. So when I had got in there or whatever, I was like, what's up? I'm trying to ask you a question. I got a YouTube channel, blah, 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 or whatever. And he was like, and I was like, they said no cameras. And he was like, he literally like was staring dead at me. And he was like, the time that you spent giving me this whole little spiel could have been the time that you spent asking me them questions. And he was like, I don't care what nobody say. Don't ever let nobody tell you no. And he was like, come on, ask the questions. And like I asked the questions, I got a little carried away. And he was like, all right now, like it's somebody else's turn. Yeah. But he was like hella cool and humble. And like from that moment forward, like when I'm about to do something big, I always literally hear him like, don't ever let nobody tell you no, like it's go time. And I'd be like, okay, keep that little thought in the back of my head.
That's a good gem. That's a real good deep gem. Like from some real shit. Like, yeah, that's crazy. That's so dope though. What was that like? Like, how does that even feel? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I heard like the anxiety of like getting rained on and being like, well, damn, what the fuck I'm gonna do? And then getting up there and like actually having that moment. Like, what was that like when you actually got to it and like experienced that? Like, especially for your journey, your story.
I was actually like hella nervous, and it's crazy because like I had met like a few celebrities before I had actually like met him. Wait, I'm trying to think. When did I meet him? I think that was in the summer. So I had met like two other people or maybe one other person prior to meeting him. So I was still kind of like nervous. So like when I saw him, like the anticipation in the line waiting, like my heart beating hella fast and I'm like hella nervous. And then when I saw him, I was like literally like starstruck because I'm like, oh my God, like this is the person that I freaking listen to when they rap songs like every single day. Right. Like, and I'm here. So it kind of like hit me then. And then like with the camera, like if you go back and like watch the footage of that particular interaction, I'm recording because like I'm my own camera person. But I'm asking him the question, but I'm literally like staring in the camera because I'm trying to make sure that I didn't forget to like hit record and making sure that the camera is recording and I'm like getting the, good footage and stuff. So like now when I look back at it, it's kind of like cringy, and like I cringe because I'm like, oh my God, this is literally so embarrassing. But I was just like, whatever, like I did it, I conquered it, and it helped build my confidence up just a little more. Like, hey,
Yeah.
he's just like a normal, regular person. So don't even be nervous because he's literally just a regular person. And it's so funny because like a few months later, I ended up seeing him at 21 Savage's birthday party. And I'm literally standing like right next to him on stage. And I'm like, what's up, Herb? Whatever. He like, I was up, and I'm like, you remember me? And he like, no. And I'm like, well, bro, like you spent some gems to me and blah 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 blah. And he was like, oh, that's what's up. Like, real cool little humble dude.
Yeah, I'm there. He ain't lying. That's funny as hell. He ain't like, he was just like, I ain't even gonna act like I remember. But yeah, I appreciate it though. Like,
no, yeah. And I'm like, I mean, I can't imagine him remembering like this one person that he met, because it was so many people at his meet and greet, and it's like this nigga on tour all the time meeting all these different people, so he not just gonna remember this, this one person.
Yeah, but at the same time, like in that moment, like you picked up a major gem, like, you know what I'm saying? It was a confidence boost. Like it's crazy how those like milestones like happen. Like they seem, it's like it's such a hurdle, you know what I'm saying, when you going through the process of like doing it. But like once you actually do it and get it done, it kind of like opens a door, because it's just like, oh, I can do this. You know what I'm saying? I can do this. Like even that little piece of advice where it's just like, don't let nobody stop you. That's some shit that you can take with you for the rest of your life. Like any time that you got a moment like that, like that it comes up, it always goes back to that. And like that's the beauty of the process. Like for real, because like when you have those things, like when you not going through the process, or when you're afraid to like really embrace the process, like because we all get scared, right? We all get scared, we all get nervous, but like when you get nervous and you actually able to like push through, and you realize that thing wasn't as hard or as scary as you thought it was gonna be, like the things that you thought mattered at one point in time don't actually matter as much, like, and you can do this not once but twice, and you can keep doing it over and over and over again. That's how you build your confidence. That's how you get where it is that you're gonna go. But if you get to those moments you get scared and you back off, see, that's how you don't get nowhere.
Exactly. And I swear, I kid you not, like anytime I have something like big or I'm about to meet somebody, I be like, let me play my gospel real quick. Let me put my favorite Herb song on. Like I always cut Statement on, because it's like this one line in the song that he say that I be like, yeah, he's speaking to me in my life. And I had that little thought in my head, and I be like, it's go time. It's lit. It's up.
I ain't even gonna lie, like, cause like even for me, right? Like I got my process too. Like for some, I was nervous before we started this one. I wasn't even gonna say that, but I was like a little nervous before we even started this episode, because I was like, man, it's been like a while since I talked to Danny. Like I'm
Girl, bye.
But I'm like, but I get that way. Like I swear to God, like I just get that way, because that's just how my mind works. So it's just like I get nervous because it's like I want to represent myself well, and I want to do good. You know what I'm saying? I want to do good and everything like that. But like, and I'm still not used to it, because like when I first started Thinking Versus Speaker, I had somebody that was doing it with me. I had a co-host, and it would be me and him every week, and we would bring guests on sometimes. But like now, I do a different person every time, and like I didn't used to be a very social person. Like I used to be very much off to myself. So every time I do a new episode with a different person, it's just like nerves, and it's just, like it be nerves, and I literally just have to like sit and like woosah for a second and like calm myself down, just to be able to be like, man, you built for this, you got this. Like
no, I agree with you 100%, because that even like happened to me, because it's like, okay, I didn't see like so many people, and I didn't interview like a few like cooler people, but I still would like get nervous, and I'd be like, all right, Danielle, get out of your head, because you're your own worst enemy, and get to it. Like don't overthink it.
Yeah, yeah. And I do, and it's so crazy the way that the mind works, right? Because it's just like even with me like starting my business that I'm starting, it's just like you ask yourself that question like, damn, like, do I really have what it takes to be like an entrepreneur? Like this shit seems hard. Like, am I built for this? And then it's just like I think back in time, and like when I'm asking myself that, it kind of like clicks in. It's just like, and you was 22 running a business. Like you've been running shit since you were 15. Like God been trying to tell you that that's what you do. Cause like, you know what I'm saying? Like even when I
Mm-hmm.
was working with y'all, like my plan was not to be a manager. It never was. It's just it just happened. And it's just because it was just like people be like, well, you seem like you know what to do. It's just like, well, yeah, it's just, it's just like when you realize what you built for, and it be like, man, am I built for this? Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And then it's like when you reflect on it, it's like those pivotal moments in your life. Like, okay, 15, I was doing this, 22, doing that. It's like, okay, that built you up for you running your own business, having your own podcast now, giving you those, like, those skills for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? You acting like you can't, you know what I'm saying? It's just like you ran a business for a company. You knew how to run numbers for them. You know what I'm saying? You knew how to run numbers for them. You knew how to hire for them. You knew how to train for them. It's just like, nigga, do you hear yourself? Do you hear yourself? Like, do you hear yourself?
Exactly.
Like you gonna do it for somebody else. You gonna make somebody else millions of dollars, because we was running $1 million store. So like you gonna make somebody else millions of dollars,
But not yourself.
but not yourself. You scared to do it for your damn self. Make it make sense.
Exactly.
But your brain will have you thinking like, can I? Yes, absolutely,
You
absolutely.
mind over matter. You can do anything you put your mind to, okay?
That's very much true. Like, you know what I'm saying, with anything, it's always gonna be a matter of controlling your thoughts and just learning how to push through and go through the process.
Exactly.
Anyway, that's dope, man. This was awesome. I
This
know.
was one for the books. When I'm
Yeah.
famous, we're gonna have to replay this.
Okay, same. Right. All right. When you interviewing me on a red carpet, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? It's gonna be full circle. Yeah.
Literally full circle. Oh
Full
my god.
circle.
I'm getting tongue tied. Full circle.
That's how you know it's real. That's how you know it's real. It's gonna come full circle. All right, y'all remember this. Everybody who hear this, remember this. All right.
We got a legendary moment here.
That's a fact. And it all started at like 15 and 18 type shit. 16 and
Man.
18.
Started at Old Navy in St. Louis in the St. Louis Mills, child.
Okay. All right, a place that don't even exist no more.
Okay, literally doesn't even exist.
And that's the funny part when I think about how life works too. It's just like when I get to reflecting on people that I've encountered, it's just like on a grand scheme of things, it's almost like Old Navy itself never mattered. But it's just like people that I met there, like people that I met in the process, any other places where I worked, went to school. It's just like, damn, like you met dope ass people doing dope things. And it's just like, it wasn't even about the place. It was about the experiences, like the people that you met, the things that you learned in the process. Like that's really what it's about.
Yeah, and it's like to piggyback on what you said, like, okay, we met each other when I was like literally in high school, and it's like, okay, full circle moment. We ain't talked in years. We connect on social media, and you're like, hey, I got a podcast. I'm like, cool, and it just shows like the energy and stuff that you put out in the world, because it's like, had you been somebody that got on my damn nerves, you're hell no, I ain't coming on no podcast. Like, like
Yeah, that's true. In them last days, I don't know, but
oh my god, I was a savage back then. But what I will say, I left them where they had me messed up, child.
Was I gone already?
I don't know if you were still working there. I ain't gonna say no names. I don't know if I want to tell the podcast about this.
That's true. I'm gonna ask you later though.
No, I mean, I don't care, but I think you were still working there, but I don't think you were there at the time. You weren't on the shift that I was on when I left.
I was gonna say, because I ain't gonna lie, I used to act like I ain't have favorites, but I had favorites.
No,
I try not to
100%.
show it, but I definitely had favorites. Like, you know what I'm saying? You told me you went to cousin. I was like, come on, shit, I don't give a damn.
Oh yeah. No, you know what, matter of fact, you weren't there that day because I remember you had texted me like, you know what happened. I was like, shit, I left, I'm done. Y'all, I was crazy back in the day. It was like a past life. So.
You wasn't that bad, honestly. You was not that bad,
no.
To be honest. You was like one of the best people to work. But the thing, I had favorites, but my favorites was the best people to work with.
No, because we used to have a good time.
Yeah, we used to have a good time, and we used to get work done
at the same time. Exactly.
Look, okay. Look, if I could teach Danny how to fold, I could do anything.
Okay. Because I was not the folder. Put me on that register so time can go by fast. Ooh, I used to hate folding them shirts.
They hated you too.
Room.
Them shirts hated you too.
I know they did. Throw it right under the table. Don't nobody got time for this.
That you have told no lies. you have told no lies.
Put this in that back fitting room. Somebody else to do it.
Danny would be up on. Go to the register.
Please, thank you.
Go to the register, get us some cards, and we gonna have a good day that way. That's why I love Ledoux. That's why I loved it when I was at Ledoux, because I got to put people where, like, if you put people where they want to be, they gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
And they not gonna give you problems.
Exactly.
Like, for real. The people that wanted to be on the register and was good at the register was on the register. The people that like being in the fitting room and did good in the fitting room, guess where your ass at? The fitting room. Like, it ain't that complicated.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I hated the fitting. Well, the fitting room wasn't bad, but reorganizing all them clothes and putting them clothes back, like, no, thank you.
Man, to this day, I still got a color-coded closet.
Like, that stuff was crazy. I mean, I did like shipment though, because it's like you can just come in, wear your little bonnet, mind your business, and go on. But during the day with all them people, no, don't ever ask me to fold these shirts, cause no.
No, that's for real though. That's for real though, cause like, yeah, once you got the good people, once people discover shipment and they got a car, you about finna lose your best people off the floor.
Yeah, because it's like you don't have to be bothered with nobody. Everybody mind their business and just go on. And you definitely don't have to be, like, bothered with customers. Oh, this is a different breed.
Oh, good. First thing people always say, can I wear my leggings? All right, here you go. Here you go.
Whatever. Nobody cares.
Yeah. That's so crazy, though. Like, I'm real happy for you to see, like, where you come just in this time. Like, it's so dope to see, like, your growth and how you progressed and everything like that.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you. You too, because I'm like, this podcast is pretty dope.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And I'm like, and then just recognizing, like, you didn't like engineering, like, and then you like, this is something that I really do. Like, it take a lot of courage to go through that and realize I didn't spend time going to school for this and doing this, and this is something that, I really don't want to do.
Yeah. And that's why I like it, because it's just like, now that I've like gotten over and embraced it, because it can be a big thing. Like, for some people it'll like throw them off. They go through like a whole crisis or whatever. But like, it don't matter what point in life that you at. Like, I'm always team do what make you happy.
No, 100%. And then just a gem to drop really quickly, networking. Like, we ain't talked to each other in I don't know how long, and we are like networking now. Like, it's literally all about the people that you know. Like, forget the people that's already at the top. You got to network with the people that's around you that you knew 10 years ago, 15, 5 years ago, or whatever it may be. Like, it's all about networking and the people that you know and building those relationships.
Definitely. It's planting good seeds wherever you go. You know what I'm saying? Like, it never paid for me to be like a person that tried to get over on people or bother people. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the beauty of it. It's just like you do leave a mark wherever you go. You know what I'm saying? Because like I would see you doing your thing on the internet, but I would be like, man, it's been so long. I'll be like, man, she don't even remember me, whatever. But it's just like, nah, that ain't true. Like, nah, that's not true. If you don't fucking reach out, talk to them people, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No,
that
yeah, 100%. Like, I mean, if I know people in any way I can, you got a little bit, a business, a shop, or a podcast or whatever, I support people that, I like and I mess with. Like, now, if I don't mess with you, hell nah, I ain't supporting you, but,
Yeah, definitely. Like, plant them good seeds everywhere you go. Like, spread that love, because it's always gonna come back to you.
Exactly. Full circle, 100%.
100%. But I ain't gonna keep you for the rest of the night. I appreciate you coming through, talking to me. You are welcome to come back anytime that you would like to have more conversations and talk about more things. Absolutely. Anything that you want to say before we get out of here?
Thanks for inviting me on. This was like super fun, like my very first podcast. So it was good, like good conversation. I don't feel like it was like forced, like it was just like, flowing. And it wasn't like, I don't know, it didn't feel like an interview. It just felt like, hey, we cool, we chat, chatting it up. So I really enjoyed this, and I will definitely, be back.
All right, absolutely. You want to tell the people where to find you on social media?
So follow my YouTube channel. It is Danni, DANNI, and then TV. Follow me on Instagram, DanniTv_. I have a TikTok, and it's DanniTv_ as well. And then I have Twitter, and I think my Twitter is DanniTv_ as well. But follow the YouTube, the Instagram, and the TikTok for sure.
For sure. She be tearing it up on TikTok, y'all.
Y'all may see y'all favorite influencer, rapper, celebrity, actor, or actress on my stuff. So follow for the tea.
Absolutely. Y'all better go there. Better go follow her. But if y'all want to follow me, you can find me at MarissaY17 on Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Twitter when I feel like it, but I don't ever feel like it. And Facebook at Marissa Yarbrough. And you can follow the pages. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all at Thinker versus Speaker. You can find us on TikTok at Thinker versus Speaker Official. And I got my own personal YouTube page called Marissa the Thinker. So if y'all want to check that out. I got more episodes of Confessions of a Healing Healer coming soon. I'm just on a break right now. But on that note, we gonna wrap this up, y'all. We finna get up out of here. Danni, you got anything left for the people?
They better follow me. That's all I got.
That's all I got. All right, we gonna talk to y'all later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.